Well, what I am doing today, I'm getting ready to do some bush hogging. And what I need to do is get some fuel out of that tank and put it in that tank. So what I have here is one of the transfer pumps from Harbor Freight. I want to say they're around a little better than $100. I've had this thing for a long time, so I don't want to get too far into it, but I wound up with a tote from Walmart, I think, and bought this, and it works out really good for the pump for storage, because if anything does leak out of it, it goes into the bottom of this. But I'll get it set up and I'll show you how it works. All right, so this is the pump, and it is a 12-volt diesel transfer pump. Transfers diesel light oil up to 10 gallons per minute. I did buy this at Harbor Freight, and I think I bought the tote at Walmart. One thing I want to mention right off the bat, the hose that comes with it, it comes with a hose with a filter on it. That hose is going to collapse. I know 2 or 3 people that have bought them, and everybody that uses them on a daily basis says that hose collapses if you try to roll it up and put it up. If you had it stretched out nice and straight, it may be okay for a while. But really, when it boils down to it, it's just kind of a flimsy hose that comes with it. Go to Tractor Supply, you can pick up one of these, or I'll try to link to them in the description. And it's a whole lot better hose. It's a Fill-Rite. Is a name brand on it, 3/4 ID fuel transfer hose. So it holds up a lot better. And you can see I've already stretched the nozzle out over to the tractor. And I've already, with me being an RV transport, I have a battery in the back of the truck at all times. You can hook it to your car battery. You can hook it up to any 12-volt power source. I have used it from a jump box before. Now, one thing, I sold this actually to a buddy of mine, and then he got to the point where he didn't need it anymore, and I bought it back. The first thing I'm going to do is check for kinks in my hose, like that. That's not good. I did wipe this hose off to make sure, try to make sure that it wasn't getting any contaminants into my fuel, which I know that's not the best way to do it, but that's how I did it. And I went all the way down to it, bottomed out, pick it up just a little bit off the bottom. I know I'm not going to be pumping this thing dry. Next thing I want to do is check my hose for kinks and twists, and I don't see any. So come up here, make sure it's going straight in, straight out. And as soon as I see that I don't have any twists or kinks, I come around here and pull this cap off. All right. Take my nozzle right in there like that. And I was thinking it had a thing on the pump where it would stay pumping. Then just turn the switch. And there you go. Because this is not a automatic cutoff, I'm gonna turn the key on the tractor and watch it for when it gets full. And we're at right at a little less than a half tank. That's not a bad flow out of a transfer pump like that. I'm still watching the gauge from back here. Looks like it's still got plenty ways to go. So I topped the tractor off. Now I'm topping off my pickup. That was pretty quick to top that tractor off. As fast as it did. And I did notice that I do have a little bit of a drip. I've had this thing, it's been pretty much in the family, me and one of my buddies. for about 2 years now, and we used it religiously. Either pumping fuel into farm equipment like what we're doing now, or you know, we had another purpose for it too when we bought it, filling up other equipment with fuel. And it got worn out. The first year we had it, we used this thing constantly, but it's actually been sitting for about 6 months now. So I'm not gonna hold it against it for developing a little bit of a drip right there at the handle. I just need to put another clamp on it. Probably get a socket on it and tighten it up, and it would be just fine. I see that my pickup is showing full on the gauge, so I'm gonna be ready for it so it don't come out all over everything. But that was pretty full, pretty fast to fill this thing up. It's a 36-gallon tank, and it was on 1/8 of a tank when I started, and it is still sitting up there showing on full, and it's still, yeah, that's a pretty good stream of fuel. So there it is. And now that it's full, I'm just gonna take the nozzle, pull this up, put the nozzle in, and you can hear it start running in just as soon as I pulled the trigger up. So and now as it's doing that, I'm gonna roll this hose up. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna do it this way, keep it organized, roll it up best you can. So now I'm gonna take this up, pick it up, so the fuel that's left in there can run right back into the tank. And then start rolling this hose up, which it all pretty much falls right into place because it's been in here for so long and been doing the same thing so long. And then undo my battery cables. I don't worry so much about rolling them up, I just kind of toss them in there. And then after it shakes around a little bit, it'll go back down. Where I store it, I've got another crate that sits on top of it. And then when I'm using it, I keep it just about like that. So this tank was almost full when I started, and now there's where it's at now, and there's full. So 5 minutes, 8 minutes, it pumped that much fuel. This is a 72-gallon tank. So my opinion on the Harbor Freight diesel transfer pump, I think it's money well spent. Like I said, I've had it nearly 2 years. No, it's been over 2 years. I've had this thing over 2 years. Never failed as far as the pump. The hoses, I've had a couple little leaks with the hoses. The hoses that come with it, the one on the suction side had collapsed, and my buddy had to change it. He just walked in Tractor Supply and picked up a Fill-Rite hose to put on it. It was like, I want to say $45 or something, somewhere around there. I'll link all this stuff in the description. But if you need a portable transfer pump, that's a pretty solid option. The best way to go, I don't know if you guys have seen in my other videos, is I had the toolbox fuel tank combo in my other truck, and that's the way to go. But it wasn't feasible for me to drive that truck over here to do what I was doing today, and that tank's empty and this one was full. So all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And like I said, my personal opinion on it, if that one goes out, you know, with me needing it to do stuff like this, if that pump goes out, I'll go buy another one because it's handy. It's just way too handy not to have to worry about dragging that big tank around with me all the time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.